All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I am the Alpha Russ. Welcome to a extremely late night edition of Alpha on Air, episode 11. Though I might not start numbering these episodes again because I don't remember what we talked about. March 12th, 2021, live from the infamous Alpha on Air Boardwalk Studio / bedroom. Let me give you guys a little bit of a taste of me right here. Of course, how's everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing okay on this fine Friday. Everyone's getting paid. Unless you got paid last week, then sorry to hear. Tonight, so it's finally happened. Weeks and weeks of hearing about this. We finally get the interview, and we're gonna listen to the interview here in just a moment. But if you guys haven't found out heard about the pyrocynical stuff, there's a couple of people that has done a really good videos on pyrocynical. If ads didn't come on for me real quick. Alright, don't need to hear him. Alright. One of those of which, of course, is Optimus's video, which actually was pretty good. That covers the initial stuff that has happened, obviously, in early December, of course. And we kept hearing about this French girl interview, and to the point where Keem and I couldn't find the tweets. I wanted to get on immediately and talk about this. Talk about this French girl interview. Now, I want to say before we begin, I want to clarify a thing here. These are allegations still. I'm just only pointing out certain things that I see that are either in light of the person making the allegations or in the light of pyrocynical. So, keep that in mind as we do these things here. But I already pulled up Keem's thing here already. Here it is. He says, today here at 6:05 my time, on yesterday, because it is now, tomorrow's yesterday or whatever, however that movie quote goes. He says the French girl interview audio will be open sourced, released to the public, will not air on #DramaAlert. What is the platform to release audio on? I might release it right now. Now, I have some genuine criticisms of Keem. Very, very genuine criticism of Keem. One of the things that I've always I never had a good approval rate of Keem is that he's too cocky. And in the game of commentary, you know, you got to understand there's two schools of method here. There's either the people that watch and stay back and get all the facts. And then there's people like Keemstar that will only hear partial facts and make a judgment call that this person's guilty. And he always claims that he's always right. I kind of disagree on that. I kind of disagree. We're all humans. We make mistakes. Okay. I mean, obviously, let's the list of Keemstar related miscues are obviously on and on and on and on and on. And he already has enough on his plate with the recent stuff with him and Ethan Klein, but we won't touch that. So what he did was, if we go over here, we go into a twit longer, which I should have brought up, which we're gonna get here. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Let's see. We'll zoom in for you guys. Oh, that's too far. That's too far. All right. There you go. And we're gonna read this. We're gonna read this twit longer by Keem, and I like how finally Keem actually, good guy Keem, leave me alone ads. Okay. Wanted to use this method because it's hip with the kids, the era of Google Docs and Twitlongers. So he's like, oh, okay, well, we'll use it this way. So says French girl interview. In 2016, Pyrocynical uploaded a video accusing me, Keemstar, of many proven false allegations. I feel like you first of all, Keem, I think you need to hire an actual legit writer, because that's a run-on sentence on another's run-on sentence. So let me rephrase this for you. In 2016, Pyrocynical uploaded a video of accusing me, Keemstar, of many proven false allegations. Okay, I did that to myself. Whatever. This is Pyro claimed that I doxed him went on his private Facebook and tweeted out his photo before he even did a face reveal. This was false. I did tweet his pic, but I got it from his friends who already tweeted out his photo. And where did they get these photos? Months before, Pyro did a face reveal on Uber Danger's channel. Pyro lied. Now, I'm entirely not aware of a lot of these like references that he makes. So, I don't know who this Uber Dangers. I think it's like kind of like a Funk Brothers type of. I have no idea. Kind of like in the same range of Paul Brothers, I guess. I don't know. But now I don't know anything about that. So if you guys know about that, obviously help me out with that. Pyro lied. Okay, if he did, then all right. So Pyro has also claimed I accused him of dating an underage French girl. Pyro took my stream clips and edited the clip in a way that made it seem like those were my allegations. False. Now, I do remember watching Pyrocynical addressing his the fan addressing the allegations that quote unquote allegations made by Keem, unquote. And, I don't see it. Like, he if he didn't make it, it was someone else that who told Keem. So it's kind of like a messenger and messenger thing. So, and if people claim it's Keem, well, it's because he's been withholding sources. Obviously, the whole Dream and John Swan situation. He knew about John Swan lying about weeks before, and he withhold that shit. That's kind of not cool, you know. That's on me though. Um, the full clip provides that I said on stream that it was Pyro's old friends that said this, not me. Now, after Pyro's slanderous video on me, I recovered DMs with Pyro and the French. Keem, gotta get a writer for your statements on Twitler. Jesus. And the French girl, proving there was some type of relationship. Pyro responded in a Reddit post saying they were just friends. For 5+ years, the commentary community has labeled me as a person who makes up lies about Pyro's cynical dating an underage girl. One, not my allegation, it was his friends, but it turned out it was true, without a shadow of a doubt. Pyro was dating dating this underage French girl. The DMs in this interview I have linked at the bottom I have linked at bottom, and I have files on top of files. Pyro still claims I'm lying, and or whatever. Sue me, you clown, in a court of law. So, and this is after and I can't think of the tattoo guy. I can't think of his name on top of my head. That was caught with a sexting underage people, and he actually sued Keem. Now in this case, he lost because he flat out admitted. What's the guy's Nick Nicotra? No, not Nick Nicotra. I can't think of his name. But so it honestly, if this is Keem trying to draw the line and say, I'm right, I'm really right. If you don't think I'm right, sue me. I bet you won't. Like, it's like saying, like, I bet you won't do it. No balls. Of course he's not going to do it, because obviously you're going to have a public reception of, you're going to hide behind lawyers to prove your point. Blood sports this, man. Come on. I know it's more of a right-wing thing to do, but you know what? It's 2021. I mean, at this point, we're having fights over the most dumbest things. So I don't think he'll see you. The truth is, Pyro has lied to his fans, much like John Swan, and used his fans like pawns. This has also given me a lot of the Call Me Carson situation, and I could explain why here, because all these people are saying that, and in retrospect of looking at all the stuff about Call Me Carson that I've seen and I've watched with multiple videos of Call Me Carson, that I could break that down into it was two people who were at a fair age, even though one was a little bit older and over how we as Americans see as legal dating age for like young people, where to start officially, 18 is the way to go. But in this case, it was a girl that was like 16, 15, whatever the girl's age was. There was a small age gap, and people were freaking out, going like, oh, he groomed this girl. Well, he didn't. They were dating. Now, the whole thing about having pictures of her, that's another thing that that will have to be addressed down the line. And if there was pictures of that, obviously that's going to be a huge no to the to the situation with Carson. And the Johnson thing, yes, he lied, but honestly, why use Johnson? Okay, I'm gonna take a minute here because I don't despise Keem. I just hate the fact that he doesn't understand that he's not Superman. He's not the Batman. He's not no superhero. He's not no super commentary community superhero that is deflective of criticism. You know, John Swan, yes, he lied to both his fans and everything like that. That is way different scenario than what we got here. This is an allegation of some very serious stuff. So that's my thought about this. Okay, so the truth. So I recorded this interview many months ago. This was in I think it was December, November. I think it was around Thanksgiving. I would say probably. I did not release it right away for many reasons. Keem, buddy, hold on, hold the phone. This sounds like excuses for holding it for clicks, for views, or in this case, another avenue where you could put your money in. In this case, the SoundCloud here says many I can't share with you. I bet that's one of them, honestly. Let's be real, Keem. Come on. If this wasn't for clicks, then why in the hell are you touching this with a 2-foot pole? But one reason I would like to share is I spoke to Pyro in private right after I recorded the interview. Now, I will not share what was said in private, but it was very clear to me that Pyro still tried to lie and manipulate to get himself out of hot water. I wanted to give him time to think about everything, and hopefully he has taken the time and is ready to take accountability, says spinning this like he has in the past. So this is you don't want to look like a bad guy for not agreeing with someone who's throwing an allegation out, which we really don't know if it's the. I mean, at least I don't know. I'm being real here for a minute. This will actually be the first time I listen to the full length of this French girl. I was just watching one of the good brothers of the channel, Crows of Judgment. Wonderful guy. Go check him out, you guys. He's amazing. Podcast and show. Really knowledgeable about Pokemon. So very, very knowledgeable of it. But it was I wanted to give him time to think it's done in the past. Like he has in the past. I know many of you know this story well, might think I want revenge. I did want that for many, many years. That hate for Pyro was in my head, but then Ethan Klein moved in and evicted Pyro a year ago. Well, here's what I say about that. There's that saying that everyone lives rent free in your head. There's three people that I personally think that lives rent free in Keemstar's head. The Klein family and Pyrocynical. If you say, and I'm being real here for Keem, and you're more than welcome to call me out on this. I'll be glad to hear it. Just because one room is filled doesn't mean there's other rooms to get occupied. Keep that in mind, all right? Pyro, I just want to tell your fans the truth that you lied about me. And I want everyone reading this to know that this is not just about me and Pyro. This is about the safety of our kids and our community. And the story that you'll hear in this interview is heartbreaking. I mean, it is heartbreaking, obviously, to hear people get mad and stuff like that. And such. Let's see here. So this is right here. This is the French girl interview right here on the Keem and Mia page right here. There's Paracynical. And so far it has over 3,805 listens. So we're going to go ahead and take a listen to this. Now, obviously, like I said before, keep this in mind. These are allegations. These are still allegations. And I'm asking each and every one of you that watch this show, whether you're a new fan or someone that who's watching just to hear different perspectives of this. I don't know if these allegations are true or if this girl's really French. Now, I did listen to some of this video, and spoiler alert, it's not. She doesn't sound French, honestly, but I mean, I've met people who have been born and raised in France and lose their accent over time. It's called a naturalization. I think that's what it's called here. So we're gonna go ahead and take a listen to this right here. So let's go ahead and take a gander.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, Pyrocynical was rumored to be dating a
Hold on one second. I knew this was gonna be a problem because I don't want to boost your guys' eardrums out. So, let's see here. Thankfully, I did get this recorded a little bit before.
Okay, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2016, Pyrocynical was rumored to be dating a underage French girl. It was unclear on the age of this girl because these allegations came from Pyro's old friends who kept giving me different ages. And I came out publicly saying, you know, Pyro was dating this girl and she was this age and she was that age because, quite frankly, his friends just kept giving me different ages. He responded in a Reddit post basically saying that he didn't date this girl, that they were just friends, nothing sexual took place, nothing sexual ever happened between them, and that Keemstar was making false pedo allegations. I never knew if anything sexual was going on, if they were dating, or if they were just friends. I really didn't know. All I knew is that there were these allegations against him made by Pyro's old friends. And I did manage to get these DMs that proved that there was some type of relationship going on between Pyro and this underage French girl. And Pyro responded to it basically just saying that, you know, they were just friends or whatever. But it was clear in these DMs that I had access to that Pyro was saying, I will wait until you turn 16. So it was clear that Pyro knew that this individual was underage. And today I have her on the line. I finally got a hold of her 4 years later.
Now this, I want to take a minute here and actually say this. I'll give credit where credit is due. Keem knows how to hype up a thing when it's needed. And I think going into this, I think he should have dove right into it. Um, but I think obviously because I think at the moment when he started recording this, doing the recording, he obviously thought this was going to be for Drama Alert, which I mean, let's be real. Between Drama Alert, like when it's non-Drama Alert versus Drama Alert exclusives, it's more like okay, I guess it is. I guess you have to hype it up. I don't know. Um, I think with at this point, you got people that who are doing that are having like a serious issue, especially of this nature, and you're hamming it up trying to sell views. I feel like that's disingenuous to the actual problem, and I think um that's something that I will uh definitely be obvious sorry um that I will definitely be looking into um as this interview goes on, um and try to see where Keem is gauging himself at this point, and also trying to listen to this girl and try to figure out like what's going on. We because in fairness, I want her to be okay. I think a lot of people want her to be okay. So um yeah, let's continue.
And so I'd like to introduce you to Lou, the underage French girl. How's it going, Lou?
It's going great. Thanks.
Yeah, a little awkward to be in this situation. So I guess where do we start? When did you first meet Pyro? Do you remember? How old you were, how old he was?
So I met Pyro back in 2015 when I was 14 years old and he was 18 years old. I was a fan artist for him.
Okay, I want to put this out here. Of course, obviously, she said she was 14 and he was 18. Um, as someone that uh who has been around those types of relationships before, like back then when it wasn't really frowned upon, um, it kind of disturbs you a little bit. But now, as I grew up, a lot of people are starting to sit there and go, "Yeah, that's kind of messed up. Can you not?" That type of stuff. And I honestly want to say, I, being that it's like a 4 year age gap, like I feel like the I think a rule of thumb for people in relationships, especially when you're in that transition age of 18, 17, 18, because there's some exceptions of kids going into college or secondary school, etc., etc. Um, at 17, 18, where once you're in a transition age where you're not in high school but you're in college, you shouldn't be dating anyone until at least like or at least dating people under your age that is more than 3 years or 2 or 3 years apart. That's at least in my that's in my taste, because as someone I dated someone that who was a year younger than me. That was actually something that I felt very comfortable with because they're in that age of where they're transitioning from high school to college, and we're both transitioning from high school to college. We're gonna be a okay. It's fine. But when you got something like a freshman dating a college freshman. It's kind of weird. It's I don't know what I don't want to how to I don't know how to say it, but it's like kind of a litany of issues that a lot of people can take as can take for granted. So uh, I have a hard time like agreeing with this. Like I feel like if she once she hits 18 and that age gap is still there, I have no problem with it. That's my opinion of it. Other than that, I think there's a lot of people that who believe that this was Pyro, and I agree with a lot of them that Pyro should have said no immediately to the situation. So
And his group of friends, so all these YouTubers in the community he was in, I drew him a lot because, well, he was my favorite of them all. Um, to show me his support, he followed me. And so later on, I thanked him and talked to him in DMs, and that's how we became friends.
So you guys, became friends. You were making art for him. Were you making like I think you told me off air that you were making like his avatars and stuff for him.
Yeah, the Fox one,
Yeah,
this avatar. Yep.
the furry one.
Yeah, the furry one.
The
Pyrocynical's
furry
not a
one.
furry,
So at some point,
but is loved by
this
furries.
develops into a romantic relationship. When did that take place?
Well, not very long after. I guess we'll have known each other for like a few months before this happened.
Hmm.
In DMs, we did start maybe a little bit flirting, saying that, well, we like each other's personalities and he appreciates what I do for him and I appreciate his company. Um, so it was quite, young love, like where you have a crush.
Right.
Okay, like here's the thing, and it kind of brings me back to something that um Jim Cornette, who I still fucking hate him, but I still respect him in talking about the history of the wrestling business. He talked about ring rats, and in similar taste, fangirling with this person, it's kind of like that. See, and that's where you got to be really careful nowadays, especially nowadays, where everyone has a camera. Like everyone has a camera on their phone, it's all it takes is just one wrong move with a girl that and a couple Google searches and everyone's gonna cancel you. And it's kind of a hard thing to sit there and go, well, okay, maybe I should. No, no. Um, let's see here. It's got.
Yeah.
Were you, he said that like, he never dated you. Like,
Oh, hold on. Before Keem, I'll go back a little bit. 22. There you go. Right before Keem was about to say something, I just had the thought of, did this girl just turn freshly 14? Because that's something that I gotta figure out in my head. Because a lot of people like and a lot of creators have actually done this recently. A few Twitch streamers have talked about this on stream since I think it was the whole Dr. Disrespect Affairs thing, um where with some they actually do this thing where they say, hey, look, I gotta see the ID. I gotta see the proof. Like, and I know it's scummy. It's a very scummy thing to do, personally. But when you're a multi-million-dollar brand, you're a multi-million-dollar investment. You kind of have to sit there and wonder how how are we gonna how are we gonna invest in this dude where he's sitting with like 14, 13 year olds in his personal hotel room that we paid for and everything. That's where I have to sit there and go, huh, this guy is potentially dating someone that's a little bit out of their the comfort zone for a lot of people in public nowadays. I could what could possibly go wrong with this, um and I gotta say, it if she just turned freshly 14 when they started getting feelings for each other, that, like, and my definition of freshly is different from a lot of people's. I know a lot of people think when you're, say, like 2 month, like 1 month, you're fresh. But if you're, for me, it's like you're 2 or 3 months. So if she's like 2 or 3 months freshly 14, that's where I got to draw the line here and say, okay, pyrocynicals should know, hey, this girl is freshly 14. I shouldn't be even having this conversation with her. So it's weird. It's definitely a weird statement to have.
I do for him, and I appreciate his company. Um, so it was quite, young love, like where you have a crush.
Right.
It, yeah.
Were you, he said that, like, he never dated you, like that you weren't
Mm.
his girlfriend. But were you boyfriend and girlfriend
Yeah, we were.
in the sense of like e-dating, right? Because you never met
Yeah.
each other in real life, but you were e-dating online.
Exactly.
And
And I want to say something real quick on that, because I think a lot of people have this weird ass stigma with like long distance dating. Um, like I do now. I think I have that same stigma about it as well. E-dating is, give or take, a little terrible. You know, and if you do the same things like a lot of these celebrities do, say like, I got to see the ID, I got to see, you got to see if you're really that age. That's where a lot of girls are going to be turned off from that, honestly. But because of these Me Too movements and these affairs being like out in the open, it's, I think it's a fair trade, but at the same time, it's a disappointing fair trade. Like, no one should be long distance dating if they're gonna be scrutinized for, if they're like freshly a certain age and they're a lot older. So I don't know. Personally, I don't want a long distance date, but if it comes up, like if I see someone that I can like see, like, okay, we can have a friendship, and if it builds to that type of thing, like I would say yeah, but one of us is gonna have to either move or we're gonna have to both move at the same time. That type of, or move a little bit closer to her, or move closer, she moves close. That type of deal, but only if it's like a real investment, like a real investment, like you guys known each other for years and it's like, yeah, maybe we should talk to each other a little bit more in person.
so, I know I talked to you off air, and you told me like nothing sexual actually did happen, which is good on Pyro's part, right?
Yeah.
But something wrong took place, right? You're dealing with a whole situation where he's a YouTuber, you're a younger person that looks up to him. There's a working relationship there where you're making art for him, and the two of you
Yeah.
start dating. A lot of this stuff comes across innocent, but then when you look at the ages, like something wrong is going on here. So at the time you were 14, Pyro was 18, correct?
Yeah.
And when you were dating and considered boyfriend and girlfriend, and it was a short period of time. How long were you dating?
Only about 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So In the course of this 2 weeks, again, just for the internet's sake, what were the ages?
Still 14 and 18.
Okay. And Pyro's response when I started talking about these allegations that his friends, again, his friends told me about this. These were not my allegations. And I wasn't, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I wasn't sure if any of this was true. I was talking about what his friends told me.
Well, and I have to see the well, I mean, I could see if there's a clip of it. Okay.
Sorry, man. Fuck Keemstar.
Okay. Pyro did a face reveal on Twitter of him brushing his teeth, all right? He fucking lied to his fans. He lied to
Privacy. Fortune.
a complete invasion of his privacy. Okay. Let's be real. If you go to fucking google.com, all right, and you just type in fucking going to google.com.
Pictures never left my personal Facebook page, so I was then forced to close my Facebook account, knowing that people like Keemstar were willing to go so low as to leak private pictures of individuals just to get back at them. I will admit, I've posted pictures of Keemstar myself.
Okay, hold on. Let me put that right there. Right.
But the pictures I've taken are all from his Twitter page or his Drama Alert channel. Pictures he willingly uploaded for his audience to see. Meanwhile, he's using private pictures of me that I didn't upload for the public to see. And a couple hours later, Keemstar realized that it was bad to post private pictures of people online, and he took to stream saying how...
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Look, dude. All right. Pyro has made this case that somehow I went on his Facebook, all right, and revealed his picture. All right. He's already made the case that he didn't want his picture released. All right. That I released my picture on Twitter to 1 million people on my Twitter. Okay. Let's watch this. Okay.
And dealt with. I can get back to beating it into your little heads that Poppy is the fucking shit. She's easily one of the coolest Yordles. She's one of the few Yordles that primarily use her own physical strength. I mean, that is if you don't count Narses and Killua, since, one depends on lightning and the other depends on turning into a fucking combination of the best and worst creatures to ever come out of planet Earth.
Pyro was talking about, like, me invading his privacy by showing his picture and saying that it was fair game for him to make fun of me and my appearance because I have, publicly given my face out. But this doesn't make sense because it looks like Pyro has publicly given his face out. I mean, this is just strange. January 9th, 2016, Pyro Cynical. I wonder if Pyro lied to his fans for sympathy, that somehow I was invading his privacy. I wonder if Pyro, lied to Grade, because he knew Grade had a problem with that.
I don't know about that. So, and I guess that was the whole thing about him being his face reveal. Now, I don't know about I don't know if that actually has the allegation in it. But I know where the whole nepotism of Keemstar talking about this came from. So it's kind of in that dead and gone type of deal. I don't know why Keem would actually bring it up, but I mean, it is what it is, I guess. Let's go back and listen to this.
But it turned out it was true. In his response, he said that you were 15 years old and he was 18. Why did he say that you were 15?
I have no idea. Maybe to make it less shocking. Maybe to make the age gap smaller by a year, because maybe people thought it would be not nicer, but less wrong because...
But what if Pyrocynical responds to this and says, well, she lied about her age. She told me that she was older.
He knew I was born in 2001, which would have made me 14 years old when it was 2015.
Did he know the month you were born? I'm sorry, this is but we have to know this stuff because if there's any little hole of plausible deniability, he's gonna take.
Okay, first of all, Keem, don't use that word. Don't use whole. No, not that word. God damn. And he is. I'll give Keem credit. He's actually asking a valid question. What month? Like not like trying to know like year. Obviously, 14. A couple years ago is obviously born on so year. So, yeah, that this is a valid question, and so far, kind of shaky with the interview. Um, I do give Keem a little credit with this question. So
Take it, right?
Well, we surely told each other's birthdays. I mean, it's what you do when you get to know someone. So he probably knew I was born in July.
Now,
okay,
I guess people would want to know what was the nature of the relationship, right? If sexual stuff is not happening, like if no one's exchanging nudes, if no one's,
Hmm.
you know, role playing or having this sexual texting type conversations, right? Without pictures, but, just stuff like that. What was the relationship then?
Really, it was just like the most simple relationship you could ever imagine. I guess him and I had interest into games and what he was doing, as well as fan arts and all these things. We just got along well with our personalities as well. It was really simple. There was
I
no
mean,
complex things.
was there any like you're cute, like I like you're pretty, do I like the way you look? Like, is there this type of stuff? Is that what we're talking about?
Probably, yeah, yeah. It is. I must have sent him like pictures of me, and I know he sent me a selfie once when he was with his dog, I think, and I did think he was cute.
Yeah.
And
see now a lot of people like were quick to, and I've seen the comments when in his video when he was talking about these allegations, and the haters, like the haters came out to play, and they were like, well, you probably got pictures of her in provocative clothes and stuff and everything and like that. And I hope he doesn't. I hope he didn't get any of those things. Like, just like, the standard like Snapchat selfie, just like that type of deal. Um I feel like this question is gonna steer in one or two ways. It's either gonna go where Keem is gonna try to nip this more on Pyrocynical's tail, no pun intended, to the furry community. Obviously, we all love furries here. Um, it's either gonna go that way or it's gonna go. Hey, what's going on, Monsoon? I hope you're doing well, buddy. Um, but I just think honestly, this whole thing, like this question right here in particular, is it's very key in this because if he, and I guess the girl goes on a little bit later because I did hear a little bit of this call earlier in Crowstream, um, where she also made the she said something about it was only that was the only picture that was sent out, and I'm curious, is this uh if that is actually a true thing? Like I I don't want to say, oh, is there evidence of him just only sending the one picture, but at this point where we're asking more questions than answers, we gotta actually obviously say, well, did he send only the one picture? So let's see here where we're gonna go
mm,
back to it.
I think I made an exception for him and did show myself, and he probably highly said I was pretty, but I don't think that. But
Now, he ends up in these DM conversations, breaking it off with you, right?
Yeah.
And in the conversation, it's very clear that you're accusing him of breaking up with you because, you know, for fame, and he doesn't want it to hurt his YouTube channel, and he doesn't want to come across looking like a pedo, right?
Hmm.
Was that the scenario? Why did you guys break up?
Well, when all these allegations came up, when either my friends or his friends wanted to make it all public, he came up to me saying that this won't work, that this will just, make him seem like a very bad person, and he decided to tell me that we should just end everything.
That was good. That was good on his part that he did that. But
And
Yeah.
I gotta be brutal.
that's actually really good on his part. If that happened, because I mean, I can go into many examples of this, like, day zero literally happening, and the impact just like blowing everything up, and that including, like, I remember, and when R. Kelly, I know this is really weird. So I remember when, this is gonna really date me, so outdate me here, but I remember when I was a kid, or I was a lot younger, but I was probably in middle school when the whole R. Kelly stuff came out, and the internet just really got bigger, and I found out that I found out because I was a big fan of R. Kelly, and I remember how the impact of everything happened when the news of R. Kelly's tape allegedly peeing on this girl, now turned out to be true, came out. And I remember all, like, the teachers, the principals, like, they were trying to figure out how to explain what happened, but this, I remember this kid just literally just go up, yeah, R. Kelly just peed on a girl. Everyone was like, why'd you watch it? like like the impact of that whole, like, the shock in all of it happening like that. So, and I know it's not similar to allegations, but even if it was true or alleged state, now because of these last few years of Me Too movements, it's like all of a sudden it's just like, once you get an allegation against you, especially of this nature, of a sexual nature, it's like everyone wants to know where you live, who you're dating, and I give credit to Pyro for this, because I think he was trying to be the superhero in this, but at the same time, a lot of people are gonna sit there and go, well, he's not. Why? He's not a superhero. He's not a superhero at all. He's just some guy that just that got hit with allegations that we're still trying to figure out if it's true or not.
Brutally honest. That's why you got to call this stuff out. You know, I was talking on a stream about Pyro's friends telling me about these allegations, and I was talking about it
I'm still
publicly.
trying to find the stream.
And Pyro tried to twist my words. He took me out of context, making it seem like I was coming up with these allegations. And I took a lot of hate, a ton of hate at the time in 2016. But the facts of the matter is that stopped this online relationship between you and Pyro, right?
Now, wait, now I gotta ask, is this from the Pyro video? Hold on. Well, since I got downloaded, it's already there, so I can just. Uh, uh,
Video to address the allegations made against me. Recently, to those who are unaware, I've been accused of grooming a 15-year-old boy when I was 19, that I'm some kind of predator and was aware of his age all along. This is categorically untrue and a complete lie. The supposed proof for these insane allegations is paper thin and embarrassingly wrong. I originally made a response on my subreddit, and I truly believed the evidence I provided was enough. And for a time it was. But a few days ago, a poorly written Google Doc has surfaced claiming that I have lied in my response and I'm 100% guilty. I just want to be clear, I have never lied at any point. This document is disingenuous, manipulative, and it fails to include so much of my original statement, bringing new information to light.
Hold on, let's see here. My experience with Keemstar. I don't. Is it in that video? Can someone verify that for me? Like, I hope someone can verify that with me, if that's possible. But I thought it was in the allegations when he was addressing all the allegations. Because I'm not 100% sure if that's it. Because, like, I don't know. Let's see. We'll try to figure it out as we go. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. There's more that we talked about in private that has little to do with Pyro, but Pyro is still involved. After you broke up with Pyro, or he broke up with you rather, you started dating another person in his friend group, right?
Yeah.
And did Pyro know this other person's age?
He did.
And how old was the other person that you started dating?
23.
23. And how old were you?
14, turning 15.
okay, so this is after the breakup, and she starts dating a 23-year-old. Now, I don't know how this can work like this, because like you're going from someone who's more closer to your age, and then you got someone who is almost four or five, almost 6, I guess you could say. 6 more years older than Pyro. That alone can make me even more uncomfortable. Why are we not talking about the 23-year-old and not about Pyrocynical? Like what Keem said, yes, what he did was right, but at the same time, ground zero bullshit happens, and it makes you look like more of a like guilty as charged. That's how I feel like Keem sees this. This is how I feel like what Keem sees. Like it's like he sees what you do at ground zero, like the day when the allegation drops, and then just sits there and makes a judgment call on that. Like he's done that for a lot of people. In terms of allegations, and I feel like that's a fair enough assessment to say. Like when there's enough information, like I feel like that's when you make an assessment of like what's going on in the world, like what's going on in these things. And then now you look at something like this and you realize, okay, Keemstar, first of all, and I'm sorry if I'm reiterating this, Keemstar, I think, dropped the ball here. He should have dropped this while the iron was still hot, regardless of views, because it was important to know, like, what happened allegedly with this girl. What does this girl know? What happened with this girl? And if there's evidence that Pyrocynical can actually share, that is gonna be that's gonna be known. And I firmly believe that Pyrocynical will actually say something in the coming days about this interview in particular. So I hope that happens.
Who knew about this, right? Because I know we're gonna get into it and we're gonna talk about it. This other relationship that you were in, but what other YouTubers knew about this? That this 23-year-old YouTuber was dating 14-year-old you at the time, turning 15-year-old you. Who knew about this?
So obviously there was Pyro that knew about it, Anything for Views, and Dull and Dark.
Was there anyone else? What? Because in these DMs, there's Notify or Nopify alt, or that's how I know him on Twitter. Nopify. Did he know about it?
I don't think I've talked to him about it. I think he only really was, like, concerned about Pyro and I.
What?
Now, I want to talk about this for a minute, because she said that Anything for Views and the other guy knew about this. So, hold on here. Let's see. Repzion, or Repzilla, I should say. I apologize. Hi, Candace. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry if I'm ignoring chat for a minute. I'm knee deep in this, like, trying to figure out and understand all these different things that are going on right now. So Repzion, or Repzilla. Why do I keep saying Daniel? Please just start calling yourself Daniel, please, for the love of God. So Repzilla, as Zillridge, said YouTuber Keemstar, the host of Drama Alert, posts an interview with a French girl that Pyrocynical dated who is underage. The situation involves YouTubers Dolan Dark and Anything for Views, all who could have prevented terrible things that followed. Reposting here. Now Keem sees this, and this is what Keemstar had to say. I gotta make sure everything's up and running.
Repzilia or whatever. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I just know that you're a YouTuber that covers this type of stuff. And you know, this tweet came to me, and I haven't listened to the French girl interview myself in quite some time. And I know I just posted the audio publicly, but I still haven't listened to it, not even today. So I'm not sure what is said about Anything for Views or Chad in it. I'm pretty sure she says that Chad tried to help her. But look, I need to explain more on that scenario. And it's not because Chad is my friend and I'm trying to look out for a friend or trying to help a friend. I got other friends that are named in this stuff, and I'm not defending them because I don't know what was done or said behind the scenes. All I know is what the girl claims, that she knew him. But I can tell you this. When Chad found out about this situation, he told the girl to go to the police. When he found out about the situation, he told the girl to come to me, to report it, to make it public. And he told the girl to stop dating the 23-year-old. I know that to be 100% fact because that's what the girl told me. And then I called Chad, and I was so proud of him because there are so many YouTubers that didn't say shit. There are so many people that knew about this that didn't say anything.
And that's something that I gotta also really frown upon on Keem for. You're saying there's other YouTubers that have known about this, but you're withholding information. This is the same thing. You're withholding the same shit that Dream knew about, and that he was told about, and everything regarding John Swan. You're withholding this French girl interview. Why protect these people? This needs to be. This is like I don't know how many times I could say this over and over and over again until the cows come home, you know? When an allegation like this happens, first thing you do, go to the police. Like, and I'm thankful for Anything for Views actually doing exactly that, telling this girl, hey, you need to actually go to the police. But why not? Why are you withholding these guys' names that know about this too? Like, I gotta ask the question: Is there other interviews with this French girl that we weren't aware of? Is there DMs with these other, like, YouTubers that are that are big in the commentary community that actually know this French girl? Like, honestly, like, give me a break, man. Come on. You can't, this withholding shit. It's going too far, man. Like, honestly.
So I know this to be 100% true. So I just want to make sure there isn't a false narrative spun out that, Chad, anything for new views, knew about the scenario and did nothing and said nothing, because he definitely did something and definitely did say something. And eventually that girl took his advice, came to me, and called the police. So.
And that's the key word right there I want to stress out. Came to me, then the police. I don't know about you, but this seems like a far fetch of a thing to do. Like, real talk, like real talk. It's a very far fetched thing to do. All right, we're gonna go back to it.
Now, was Nopify trying to get you guys to break up? Like, what was his whole angle? I'm curious because he's been defending Pyro pretty hard on social media.
I honestly don't remember, but I do think he was. I mean, most people who put out these allegations wanted us to just finish everything off to protect him.
Yeah. Okay, so you start dating this other YouTuber.
To protect him from everything that was happening. I want to. Oh my god, that's where I gotta throw a little bit of criticism on to the French girl herself. Why do you feel like that was an attack? It was to defend him. Like, it was more honestly to help you. Like, not get barraged. There you go. That's the proper word I'm looking for. Barraged by these, like, stan fans. Because I've seen, like, okay, nuclear take here. Anyone who has a pretty face on YouTube is has like million subscribers and everything like that, they're wanting this. Anything that hurts this, they're gonna be like, oh hell no, you ain't touching my man. And they're gonna on your Twitters and your emails. Like, we even summoned extreme cases because of recent stuff with some stands of Dream that they will go tooth and nail and report everything, even if it's actual legit criticism. Like, I could actually share this. I got suspended on Twitter because I actually gave criticism to Dream for not disavowing any of his fans for retweeting people who were defending John Swan at the time before we knew he lied, and kept saying KYS, which we all know what that means. If you don't Google it, you'll probably be mad at me about it. Sorry, not sorry. And that's against Twitch TOS, or not Twitch, YouTube's or Twitter's TOS. There you go. And I got suspended for pointing out the fact that they're getting away with murder for saying that. While if I say it in reference of them actually saying it to others. Now, granted, I actually, thinking about it now, I wish I could have just screenshot some of them and just use them as context. Because I got suspended for a whole day because of it. That would be cursed. The tearless bald. Oh my god. Why you guys talk? Bald YouTubers aren't the world, just saying. But anyway, coming back to this, I felt like this is a valid criticism, or she should be actually more thankful, because the initial barrage wasn't against her. It was against the anti, like, people that who were potentially compromised by Pyrocynical, by those people. Those people got the burning edge of every stand, like Pyrocynical stand, that want to protect their dude. Like that. There's nothing else I could say other than that. You know, that's the truth. That's the truth. Like, stands are crazy. You might see why I have my thoughts on that. Quarter 3, okay? Okay, no worries.
And his name is
Ancient reality.
Ancient Reality. People know that this is a very inappropriate relationship. Why didn't anybody social media?
I honestly don't remember, but I do think he was. I mean, most people who put out these allegations wanted us to just finish everything off to protect him.
Yeah. Okay, so you start dating this other YouTuber, and his name is
Ancient reality.
Ancient Reality. People know that this is a very inappropriate relationship. Why didn't anybody say anything publicly?
I have no idea why. Anything for views try to help me, and sadly I denied it because I was very stupid, and nobody else tried to help or thought it was wrong. They talked about it to me. They never said it was bad or never
And that's something that oh, actually, you know what? Let her finish her sentence real quick here.
considered asking me to leave the relationship.
Okay. So she moves on from a relationship with a 18 to 9, somewhat to 19-year-old. The allegations dropped, dumped. Now she's dating a 23, 24-year-old adult. And she's just turned freshly 15. You could probably see where this feels very wrong. This is very wrong. I mean, that's all I gotta say about it. It's like, it's no matter how you construct it and construe it and everything in between. Like, this is a relationship between an adult and still a child. Like, if they're, like, my definition of, if you're gonna be in a relationship with someone, make sure it's someone who's on equal footing as you, aka basically you're an adult and you're an adult. If you're dating someone who is a student, there's some exceptions to that rule. Like, make sure, that's my thing. Make sure that student that you're dating is like I like to say, a finger's distance away in terms of years of age difference. Like for me personally, I don't like dating anyone that is like 3 or 4 years old. I know I keep repeating this. Like I want to keep in my age range, because, like, you know, I don't want to look like the weird old dude dating some young gun kid, whatever. I want to date in my age range, like, yeah. And that's what a lot of people are saying, you know, to a lot of the old people nowadays: stay in your lane. Like, you know, go date Gertrude while we're dating Benicia, or whatever her name is, like Bernice or whatever. I don't know. It's so terrible. It's like, this whole thing, this whole interview so far, it's a high low type of thing with Keem here, and I feel like this question was a pretty decent high on me with Keem. Like sometimes, like if Keem treats it as serious as he can, it's gonna be a good interview. But so far, I'm like seeing a lot of highs and lows with this one, and this question in particular about this YouTuber. I can't remember the name again, but the fact that she's actually putting his name out there, that's going to be interesting to see what his camp actually says in the next few days, because now that that relationship's happened, is that guy gonna get canceled too? Because I think he's gonna get canceled, like personally, from all this. So
I talked to Anything for Views today, and he was desperately trying to get you to come to me and tell me about this other relationship, again, not involving Pyro, because horrible things.
sorry, I'm sorry I had to interrupt the question here, but the fact that Anything for Views, the fact that what Keem just said, that Anything for Views was trying to get her out of that current relationship, where was he when he said that? You know, where was that? Like honestly, like where was that? Like where in the world is that?
Things happen in that relationship to the point where you went to the police, right?
Yeah.
If you're comfortable about it, do you want to talk about like what took place?
I would be more comfortable if you could say it.
Okay.
I trust you.
I'm sorry, I can't take that seriously. I can't take that seriously. I trust you to Keemstar? Like, I don't know. I like the whole my whole thing of Keemstar. Like, I used to be in awe of Keemstar, but now, like, with a lot of these things, like especially with the New Year's debacle, I have a love hate relationship with Keem. Like, I mean, I do appreciate that he got my boy Tipster of out of a lot of sketchy situations with his channel, and a lot of the boys in the RFC community, you know, and Blow Blacks. But at the same time, you know, this these are type this is the type of my lord, this question of Anything for Views. Like, if Anything for Views, like this is my thought about it. If Anything for Views actually felt like she was in deep danger, why did he not go to the police about it himself? That's my thing about it. Why didn't Anything for Views go to the police and say, "Hey, look, there's this girl in so and so, you know, why where was this? Where was this? I don't know.
Well, the way I understand it, based on our private conversations, you flew to Ancient Reality's hometown in Sweden. Is that correct?
No, he's Netherlands.
Netherlands. See, do you really trust me? Are you sure you trust me with this?
No, I'm not sure anymore.
You flew.
Of course,
You flew to the Netherlands.
of course, you'd say
and
that,
he flew
girl.
to France. You both visited.
well, we took a train, but it's the same.
Took
Yeah.
a train. See, are you sure you trust me with this story? Because I'm gonna butcher it. But you guys were meeting each other in real life, and at the time that you were meeting each other, you have turned 15, correct? Or were you still 14?
Still 14.
Still 14. You're meeting each other, and both of you start lying about your ages. He starts saying that he's younger, and then you start saying that you're older, so this doesn't seem to be an issue.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I heard, is that you know, you were lying about your age. You were lying about your age. You know, that's one thing I heard kind of behind the scenes.
Now that's something that I would be extremely concerned about. Like if this happened very recently, like I don't know how old this French girl is, but why would you lie about your age? I'm sorry. If like literally two first relationship, like okay, I'm gonna be real about my age. Second relationship, I'm just gonna bump my age up a little bit. Just turn the knob to like 20, 21. Why? That's suspicious. That's odd. This is suspicious. Like, this is where, just like right in my head right now, all I could hear in my head is like, okay, so let me get this straight. The fact that you were honest with Pyro, and now with this new dude, you're lying about your age, and you guys are meeting up with each other. Why the fuck are we even talking about? Why the fuck are we not talking about the ancient or whatever his name is? Um, dating this girl. Like, I think we're gonna talk about it soon. We're gonna have to. Cause this is a little whoo, this is definitely a little whoa, no, this is not good. This is not good. Like I could bet you. And by the way, I horribly mean this. If any of you harass this dude or the girl, honestly, there's the door. There's the door. Thank you. Come again. Come back when you actually have common sense. Like really. Like don't be dating girls that you, man.
When did you start lying about your age? What was the first time that you started saying that you were older than what you were?
He wanted me to tell that I was 16 so he wouldn't seem like, you know, it was very bad.
So the first time you start lying about your age is after the Pyro online e-dating relationship.
I was always very open about my age. I stopped lying way before all of this happened. I used to be quite self-conscious when I was way younger, about 12 or
Okay.
13, which I added a year. But when I turned 14, I didn't feel like it was necessary anymore to lie about it.
Oh, so again, because people will take that and run with it, right? Again,
Mm-hmm.
with Pyro, he knew your exact age. Like he knew that you were 14 years old when he was 18, right? But so
Yeah.
this situation, sorry, we got kind of sidetracked here. But I want to talk about ancient reality because what transpired is statutory rape in both countries,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
Multiple times
Mm-hmm.
to the point where you went to the police. And
Yeah.
ancient realities, he has appeared to leave the internet entirely. He hasn't been seen. He hasn't made a post on Twitter since 2018.
Ancient reality? Okay. So ancient reality, hold on. Oh? So this is okay, this is not the guy. Ancient reality. who's I need to know who this guy is. Like the name sounds familiar, but yeah, the name sounds very familiar. I just can't put my name on it. I gotta do a little research into this guy.
Do you know where he is? Do you know if he ever got arrested? Do you know if he's facing charges?
All I know is that investigation has been transported to the Netherlands, but I still did not have any answers from court or anything.
Okay, so then that's why I don't see anything regarding the ancient reality. It's so it was originally in another country. Now it's in the Netherlands, and she doesn't even know. So that's telling me something right there, that she actually did do something right in the second relationship here. Um, and I guess he is still facing charges, uh, in regards to that. So that's a good thing. Um, that was another good question by Keem. I give him that.
My problem with what happened to you is that there were key people that knew that this happened and they could have stopped it. You have, you know, all these different YouTubers, especially Pyro. Pyro had firsthand knowledge. If he would have came out and said, "Look, I know this girl's age. This relationship is going on," he could have put a stop to it, like I put a stop to you and Pyro's relationship before it got to a point of statutory rape. Is that a true statement?
Yeah.
No, wait, hold on. I gotta rewind that little part right there. That's a good. That's a statement that I'm really wanting to key on here.
Answers from court or anything.
My problem with what happened to you is that there were key people that knew that this happened and they could have stopped it. You have, all these different YouTubers, especially Pyro. Pyro had firsthand knowledge.
How did Pyro? Now, see, this is a question that I don't think is even asked. And if Pyro actually even know, like, if Pyro has receipts of this, because I see now this contradiction. There's a contradiction here, and I would, Keem, if you're watching, you're not, but I mean, if you are, cool, or anyone in the commentary community, if you are watching, I want to ask this question: if he were to know that, is there evidence of this? Is there evidence of him knowing about the relationship with ancient reality and the French girl? Because if or Lou, yeah, Lou, because if that was the case, then yes, I would call out Pyrocynical on this. I would definitely agree and say, Pyrocynical, why did you not talk about this? Why did you not call this out immediately into public? Like, and the only thing I could see in that side of the argument is, well, he had other things. He had to deal with the other allegations, and I could probably say that's fair enough. Yes, I could say that's very fair enough to say, well, okay, he hasn't spoken anything about it yet, but I would assume in a response to this audio clip, SoundCloud, that we're gonna hear him say something along those lines, and maybe show receipts that, yeah, I should have said something, that was my bad, fuck up. And if he does take accountability for that, then I would say, you know what, this dude ain't gonna really this dude's actually taken ownership of some things that he has done.
He would have came out and said, look, I know this girl's age. This relationship is going on. He could have put a stop to it, like
Busted,
I
yes,
put a
indeed.
stop
Busted
to
in
you and
4K.
Pyro's relationship before it got to a point of statutory rape. Is that a true statement?
Yeah.
I feel like, as a whole, this YouTube online internet community, when we make excuses for this type of stuff, when we give people an out, when we don't hold people accountable, or when those like Pyro, who made a mistake, clearly dating someone that was way underage, when he doesn't come out publicly and he isn't honest about this, it makes a scenario in which something serious takes place, which is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel proud that I've been vindicated, right? I don't feel proud that I was right this whole time.
And okay, this is okay. I don't know if this is gonna go on for a lot longer. We got like 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, or not 12. We got like 6 more minutes of this. But if this was the case that Keem is actually is about to humble brag, then dude, you you don't even need to be interviewing these people anymore. You don't need to be doing these talks of these allegations, doing these interviews with these girls. The only reason why you're doing it is because you have the mainstay. Like, you have the biggest stage. Because, like, you know what? And I'll even say it right now. I think Kavos would have done a better interview than you. I think Nicholas Diorio would have done a better interview with this French girl. Tipster? Hell, I'll even throw someone that I don't even really like. Fucking Tonkasaw would have done a better interview with this girl.
I feel sad that this happened. And it could have been prevented. Recently, Pyro was involved in another scandal with him role-playing some disgusting sexual furry stuff with a 15-year-old. And Pyro's defense is that he didn't know the person's age. What are your thoughts on that situation? And I know you told me that you haven't seen everything. You've just seen a few stuff.
Well, I just recently, like a few minutes ago, read about it all. I think the I don't know their age excuse is way too easy because people are gonna be like, well, he didn't know, so I'll just, it's a great excuse. I'll prove that he's innocent or anything. I don't think it's a very great excuse because, well, it's so easy to make the victim
Yeah.
get hate just by saying, well, they did this, so what I did was right, even when it's wrong.
Yeah, you know, the the audience a lot of times with some of these YouTubers, they're children, right? Pyro has
Hmm.
a bunch of kid fans. I'm not saying all of his fans are kids, but he does have a bunch of kid fans. And when you're a kid, you don't really know right from wrong in these scenarios. I mean, you were a kid at the time. You were 14. Clearly, you didn't know right from wrong. Why is
Hmm.
that? Is it because when we're kids, we feel like we're adults, and then we don't understand that this is wrong until we're actually adults?
And I could probably answer that in a little bit more of a fair take here, because like when the internet first came out, that was like the first time we could actually talk to someone from the other side of the world. Now it's just casual. Like, we took care of this. Like, we took care of what we did. Like, we did AOL. Like we did Yahoo. I'm trying to remember what the UK one was. I think there was one called I think it was called like one plus one. It was called it was like one ply is like one p something. It was in partnership with the BBC and AOL, which was like a knockoff version of Yahoo. I don't know. I gotta look this stuff up, but I remember the AOL messengers and everything like that. We took care of that. Like the generation after me that came out with iPhones, smartphones, like they kind of been using and abusing that, and parents figuring out like, oh well, if they could do that, I could do the ding pick and it won't be in trouble. Little did they know that was trouble. Like, you know, and so the generations after me, like the like and by the way, for those who don't know, I talk in generations like from like that were born 95 and after, like that generation, like the Gen Ys and Z's, and then you got the I think they're called Zillennials now. I think that's the new one. Um, we got to be more respectful of the internet, because if we use it, especially since we have the power now to make our own content. Like we got Twitch streamers, D Live streamers, Trovo streamers, YouTube right here. Hello. Um, we have a responsibility that some people aren't ready for. Like we have to follow the TOS to everything in regards to rules. And if we don't, we get kicked off the platform. Like I think this generation, the next generation of of content creators need to be reminded by the current generation that this can be taken away in one shot by either YouTube and Google, or even worse, the government. Like, and that's no Alex Jones like type of conspiracy theories speaking. That's just me being honest. Like the Gen Z, so it's Gen Y, so or XY, yeah, XY. Uh, um, where was I going with this thought? Jesus. This is why I hope the next generation that's coming up, that Gen Y and Z will take them by the hand and say, "Hey, look, this is our favorite toy when we were your age. Don't break it, and everything will be all right." See, I wish we still had like those old school, like I was born like right before they stopped making those hard plastic lawn darts. I wished we had those again, because let's just say you want to put the fear of God in some kid, you know, that's how you do it. Just get him right near the feet. Like you weren't even aiming at my feet. You're aiming at the rings. Who said I was? But yeah, I feel like this generation doesn't understand, like, you know, these type of situations. These type of situations that involve potential sexual nature, um and compromises your youth, like your youth and innocence, because we still have a little bit of innocence in us regardless of age. Like there's a little bit, it's like a microscope, like little bean of like a mustard seed of innocence in us. Like that's personally how I believe it. And the fact that we got to protect that very, very quickly. Like that's my that's my words of wisdom. I don't have the big beard, but that's words of wisdom right there.
I think you just don't understand the proportion of how bad it can get. You're not mature enough to know what other people are thinking, and you believe way too easily that this person is nice or this person wants to be good with you when they just have other intentions which are not very great with you.
Yeah. Well, I see it with the audience. I see it with the viewers. They're just easily manipulated when it's a younger audience. It happens all the time online. What do you
Okay, it happens all the time. Then why the fuck do you not tell all the dream stands to calm the fuck down? Oh yeah, that's right. Because everyone, all these content creators that have smaller aged fans don't know to control. You can't control someone who is a fan that knows how to hack to uh put their docs in people's servers and people's YouTube lives. Talk about your parents' real names and everything like that. That Brit Bong bullshit, that type of shit. We don't have control of that. We could, and that's the reason why I always state, anytime I do the show, I horribly disavow anyone that who. I actually, let me rephrase that. I hate saying horribly because it sounds both, it could go both ways. I extremely disavow people who hack, who dox, and try to hack into people's stuff. Like, and if you watched the recent video I did not too long ago about the CD Projekt Red, that is a definition of something that I feel it should be more elite, more frowned upon by not only the internet but the communities that are around it. Even if people are saying these are ethical hackers, there's no such thing as an ethical hacker. If you see someone's material and it's shared upon multiple screens, multiple people, there's a chance one in one of those 5 people or 10 people or how many people that see that are going to use that information for bad. It's time for these types of communities to really clamp down on these types of situations.
think the ancient reality guy, that guy should be arrested if he's guilty of all this stuff.
And I agree.
That's
I
just,
agree on that.
in my opinion, based on what you told me, that's a closed shut case. But what do you think Pyro should do in response to this finally 4 years later coming public and the truth being put out there? What should his response to all this be, you think?
I think the best for Pyro would just to admit to his past mistakes and try to prove either that he can become someone who's trustworthy and maybe honestly apologize to whoever he might have hurt in the past or anyone he might have wanted to take advantage of. I think he should just be honest and not
Yeah.
try to modify what people say about allegations he's received or anything like that.
I seen a lot of talk online when I brought up the underage French girl recently. I seen a lot of talk from his fans that just said, Keem hates Pyro. He'll do anything to
Yeah.
destroy Pyro, right? And yeah, I hate him. He lied and manipulated, this attack video on me in 2016. He took my clips out of context to make it seem like these were my allegations. He made up this scenario in which he was claiming that I doxed him. And 1 minute, I gotta, believe it or not, Chad, anything for views, is calling me over and over again. But he made up this scenario in which he accused me of doxing him by showing his face, even though he did a face reveal, like,
Mm.
months prior to me tweeting out a picture of his face. So yeah, I don't like him. If someone wrongs you, you're not gonna like that person. But facts are facts, right?
Mhm.
He was
Okay, I gotta say, like, honestly, that is interesting. Anything for views was calling Keem, especially on Skype. Fucking hells, Keem, why are you boomer? Discord, my bud. Discord. Now, if it's like someone older, like Pewds or someone like that, I mean, fair enough. Why not? But really, like, I don't know. I don't know how do I feel about that. I don't know how I feel about the fact that that he was getting a call literally towards the end of this call with the French girl. It's almost like as if there's something that anything for views was trying to share with him, and I hope anything for views actually does this um soon and actually um talk about it out in public, on a call with Keem, or honestly, if it's with Keem, okay, fine, whatever. Just let him be a jackwagon and be Keem. Keem will be Keem. But yeah, no, I just don't. What this whole interview has shown me um is that I feel like, and it definitely uh really it definitely really uh what's the word I'm looking for? It revalidates a lot of my personal opinion of Keem, especially in regards to withholding an interview in regards of this type of scenario, where while the iron's hot, he could have dropped this right then and there, but he had to wait. He had to wait till it was a dead period, and then people kept questioning him. Where's the French girl interview? I even said, where's the French girl interview? Like, we joked about it in Crow's stream and Tipster stream, or Augie's stream, when John Swan wasn't an asshole, in his stream. Like, we talked about it. And honestly, all this hype that you built around it after all these months, I think you just did just because you were annoyed that people were kept responding in your comment section. Where's the French girl interview? Like, kept tweeting at you, where's the French girl interview? There was even a hashtag that said, where's the French girl interview? Like, I can't even. I can't even with this dude. Bro, based?
dating you. He
Yeah.
knew that you were 14 and you were dating a 23-year-old and said nothing and did nothing. And if I could defend Pyro at all in this scenario, Pyro is 18 years old at the time, right? He's not
Yeah.
23. He doesn't have enough life experience. And when you are this age, you're going to make stupid mistakes and do dumb stuff. But he's 23 years old now. I think
Mhm.
I think it's time to man up and take responsibility for some of these old mistakes. But I'm gonna leave it there.
All right. What do I say about this? What do I say about this whole interview? And in general, I feel like this was kind of a in the middle type of interview. I feel like this was an interview that that could have been done by a different person. And once again, it's not the I'm gonna say this. It's not the French girl's fault that she went to that. It's because he has more views, more of the eyes on him than like say a Kavos or Optimus or a Nicholas Diorio tipster and everything like that. I mean, that's tough balls to say, but like I wish someone else did the interview. Like, hell, I would have. You know what? I'll even say it. I wish the Phoenix did this interview because she would have been more brutally honest. And by God, I would throw my hat at her to say she should have done the interview with this French girl. That she should have done the interview with this girl. Oh my God, this is like real. Like, and if I have any advice for both sides of this, and Keem is half right. He's at an age of like he's at a certain subscriber count. He's at a certain age where he has to be accountable. But at the same time, there's a statute of limitations that this girl had. This is like it's been said multiple times in the interview. This happened 4 or 5 years ago. Like, where's the statute of limitation in that? Where's the statute of limitation with that? Like, and I'm happy for her right now because obviously she took that dude, the ancient reality, out of the public eye, out of YouTube, out of Twitter, and he's facing charges right now. Like, I wish she should have dealt with the police first. And I hope Anything for Views has something to say about this soon. Like, I want Anything for Views to say something, say a statement, at least something, because he had a feeling that he knew about. He needs to talk about his perspective of this, because now the fact that Keem has revealed in this interview, that's the only big thing I could really say about this interview that has got my attention, at least, is that there's multiple people that know about Pyrocynical, but knew also about her, the French girl, Lou, and this older dude, Ancient Reality, had a relationship to the point where there was a, I don't want to say the word, but an assault of the nature. We'll go with that. That happened, and they didn't come immediately out with it, so she had to actually say something. I don't know. This interview was exhausting to talk about and review, and I hope she does get her. I hope whatever is the truth comes out, because if the truth doesn't come out, then what do we even have to stand for in terms of these types of allegations? Where's the accountability? That type of stuff. All right. Let's see. But that's it for the show, you guys. I thank you guys so much for being on, for watching, and obviously if you are watching post the live broadcast, obviously comment what your thoughts and opinions about what I had to say about this interview, and obviously follow me on my socials, all down below right there, below this channel right here. Of course, I will be officially putting out the Discord publicly in a couple weeks. I'm working on the stream tree, so be on the lookout for that in the coming days. But I am the Alpha Russ, the only Alpha Russ, saying peace, love, and grease, everything that's holy. Tim Tebow.